Have you ever considered that the cosmos's ultimate speed trap isn't actually about velocity? Suppose it represents something far more essential, universal consensus. I am not referring to a vote among physicists, but rather the intrinsic requirement for every spatial coordinate to agree upon one singular, unalterable timeline. This narrative isn't merely about photons traveling quickly. This is a deep dive into how reality forbids contradictions from existing. That specific constant of roughly 300,000 kilometers per second isn't just a hurdle you encounter. It acts as the fingerprint of a profound structural law preventing our world from dissolving into pure chaos. Let's investigate this through three strange perspectives you have probably never linked together. First, we look at the event horizon's silence and the termination of all dialogue. Picture yourself piloting a high-tech vessel and deciding to floor the throttle, pushing faster and faster. In your desperation to break boundaries, you might assume the bottleneck is your propulsion system. However, the actual restriction is much more peculiar. As you get closer to that cosmic limit from the view of an external observer, your rate of acceleration seems to dwindle towards zero. You require vastly more power for every tiny bit of progress. Now, consider the abyss of a black hole. Its boundary is the ultimate dead end. This isn't strictly due to the crushing force of gravity, but because fleeing that zone would require an escape speed that, at that exact edge, matches the velocity of light. That border is, in a fundamental sense, a barrier of cause and effect. Inside that dark sphere, no pulse, no signal, and no fragment of data can ever bridge the gap to the outside world. This isn't just a case of intense gravity. It is the fabric of space-time mandating a complete communication blackout to protect the logical flow of events elsewhere. The light speed threshold and the black hole's edge are simply two versions of one core truth. They represent a maximum frequency for making a connection. Causality is the glue that prevents reality from becoming a fever dream. If you were able to bypass it, you could theoretically broadcast messages from within a singularity, ruining our entire grasp of physics. This limit is no mere obstacle. It is the universe's definitive warning sign on specific zones of reality, ensuring that origins and results stay in a logical sequence. Second, we have quantum entanglement and the mirage of instantaneous action. Here's a classic brain teaser. Two tiny particles get linked, their destinies woven together. Move them across galaxies, observe one, and its twin immediately adopts a matching state. This appears to be a faster-than-light influence. Einstein famously labeled it spooky action at a distance. Yet crucially, this ghostly link cannot be utilized to transmit a message, a packet of data like a binary bit, faster than a photon. Why is that? Because the result of your observation on your side is totally erratic. You have no way to force a specific outcome to encode your signal. Your partner light years away observes only random noise until you both correlate your findings, which must occur via a traditional light speed or slower medium. This entanglement link is a prearranged quiet pact etched into the architecture of existence at the start. It isn't a transmission, it is a revealed pattern. The cosmic barrier here serves as the guardian of non-signaling. It permits the strange probabilistic threads of the subatomic world to persist without violating the relativistic decree that information, the type that carries intent, choice, or logic, has a rigid speed ceiling. It is as if nature allows hidden bonds but fiercely protects the pipelines of meaningful exchange. Third, we explore the thermodynamics of processing and the Margolus-Levittton principle. This concept sits at the intersection of computer logic and physical law. There is an absolute ceiling on how rapidly any physical setup can transition from one condition to a completely unique state. This is dictated by quantum rules and defined by the Margolus-Levittton theorem. The peak rate of these state shifts is tied to the total energy within that system. But here's the kicker. Cramming more energy into a tiny volume to process data faster hits another wall. It would eventually collapse into a black hole. This is the black hole computational threshold. It establishes a breathtaking roof. The highest possible speed for processing information for any machine anywhere is ultimately changed to energy and the speed of light. The quickest possible flip of a cosmic switch is limited by how fast influences can travel across the hardware. From this vantage point, the speed of light isn't about particles. It's about the clock speed of the total universe. It sets the peak frequency at which any localized part of reality can shift its focus, compute a result, or move between significant states. It is the hertz of our existence. So what do the silence of a black hole, the quiet pact of entanglement, and the universe's top clock speed share? They all suggest that light speed isn't a travel restriction, but a limit on causal connectivity. It's the finite rate at which one occurrence can determine the fate of another occurrence elsewhere. This is why faster-than-light motion is a misunderstood term. The issue isn't velocity. It's that traveling between two locations faster than a beam of light could connect them mumbles the objective order of history. Who triggered what? What occurred first? The solutions become dependent on the viewer, and the solid chronicle of the cosmos transforms into a chaotic narrative with clashing storylines. Light speed is the heartbeat that keeps our history in rhythm. The unconventional takeaway is this: the speed of light is likely not the most basic constant in this framework. It might be a byproduct of two deeper realities: the peak allowable energy density of spacetime that stops infinite processing and creates singularities, and the quantum resolution of information itself, the Planck scale. This speed emerges as the ratio between those fundamental units, the Planck length and the Planck time. It is the translation key that shows how the cosmos converts between the shape of space and the passage of time. All of this serves to keep a consistent, error-free ledger of history. Light just happens to be the most perfect carrier in this mechanism, weightless and unhindered. So when you hear that nothing exceeds light, translate that in your brain. No meaning can be forged faster than this. The universe isn't throttling your engine, it is safeguarding the sanctity of narrative, cause, and effect. These are the tools that make reality logical instead of messy. This restriction is no wall, it is the rulebook that allows the match to be played. What does this truly reveal? This ceiling isn't a defect or a weakness of our world. It is, in fact, its most durable and reliable hallmark. Think about it. If this causal speed were infinite, every event would happen everywhere simultaneously. There could be no dimension for time, no before and no after. The cosmos would be a single frozen static fact, a cosmic snapshot with no plot, no movement, and no journey. The speed of light, this causal speed cap, is what carves the possibility of a story from the raw fabric of being. It builds the theater where events can progress in a sequence, where results follow choices, and where a record can be etched in an objective way that every observer can eventually agree upon. It is the reason the universe possesses a past, a present, and a future that are distinctly separate. Therefore, when we collide with this limit in our labs, our math, and our fantasies of traveling the stars, we're not hitting a random barrier. We're meeting the fundamental grammar of existence itself. It is the logic that allows for anything captivating to occur. The limit doesn't stifle the universe. It provides its form, sequence, and a tale worth sharing. If you enjoyed this journey, please like and subscribe to Hard Science Theory. In the end, the cosmos is defined by the beautiful, unified reality that this exact prevention enables. The intricacies of this cosmic speed limit go beyond mere numbers or physical obstacles. It is the very essence of how information propagates through the void. Imagine a world where information traveled at an infinite rate. Every cause would be simultaneous with its effect. Every thought would be realized the moment it was conceived across the breadth of the universe. In such a state, the concept of a process would vanish. There would be no growth, no decay, no movement from potentiality to actuality. The speed of light is the cosmic brake that allows for the unfolding of complexity. It ensures that the universe is not just a point, but a vast, expanding tapestry of interconnected events that take time to influence one another. This delay, this latency of existence, is what gives birth to the three-dimensional world we perceive.
It allows for the separation of objects and the distinction between the self and the other. As we look deeper into the quantum realm,
when we contemplate the vast distances between stars, the speed of light can feel like a cruel joke, a barrier that keeps us confined to our tiny corner of the galaxy. But when we view it as the guardian of causality, it becomes a beautiful necessity. It is the reason we can have a coherent history, the reason we can learn from the past and plan for the future. It protects the logical structure of our lives. Without it, the universe would be a chaotic soup of events with no rhyme or reason. So the next time you look up at the stars and feel the weight of that limit, remember that it is also the very thing that makes your life, your story, and your world possible. It is the silent, steadfast rule that ensures the sun will rise after it sets and that every action will have a meaningful consequence in the grand theater of existence. In every laboratory where particles are accelerated to near-light speeds, we are essentially testing the limits of how much information the universe can handle in a given volume of space. Each experiment is a conversation with the fundamental constants of nature. We find that as we push closer to that ultimate threshold, the universe pushes back, not with force, but with the sheer weight of its own logical consistency. Mass increases, time dilates, and lengths contract, all to ensure that the speed of light remains the absolute anchor. This isn't a cosmic conspiracy to keep us slow. It is the mathematical inevitable of a reality that must remain non-contradictory. The speed of light is the ultimate arbiter of truth in the physical world. It ensures that no matter where you are or how fast you are moving, the laws of physics remain the same. It is the universal standard that allows for the existence of objective reality, a baseline upon which all observers can find common ground. Ultimately, our journey through the mysteries of light speed leads us back to a profound appreciation for the order of the cosmos. We are living in a universe that is finely tuned for the emergence of narrative. From the first spark of the Big Bang to the complex structures of the human brain, every stage of development has been governed by this fundamental limit. It is the architect of the stars and the choreographer of the atoms. By embracing this limit, we gain a deeper understanding of our place in the grand scheme of things. We are not just passive observers of a distant reality. We are part of a coherent, unfolding story that is being written at the maximum speed allowed by the laws of nature. The speed of light is the pen, and causality is the ink, and together they are crafting a universe that is as logical as it is breathtaking. Thank you for exploring these hard science theories with us today.